This is Cheryl Allen and Chris Allen, and this is the 502 Review. On this episode, we bring you Terri Kendall, owner and operator of xalt, a local company whose mission it is to teach people the art of aerial performance, and through this instruction, empower them to rise above their own obstacles. We originally met Terri on Spring Street at the Letter Song Calligraphy Studio. She was there to give a performance at an open mic night held weekly on Thursdays at 7. Originally impressed by her performance, we quickly learned that this fiery and determined woman was also by turns a school psychologist, an instructor, a mother, a business owner, an athlete, and a local author in the midst of publishing a self-help workbook. We had to know more. Terri welcomed us into a world where pageantry and performance is equally matched with skill and muscle, where athleticism, training, and core strength meet grace and beauty and entertainment. Aerial performance is art and sport, synthesized into one glorious machine. The earliest acrobatic troupes performing in China were documented almost 2,500 years ago. The circus came to America in 1792. American Turners was founded in the U.S. in 1848 by German immigrants. The term Turner comes from turnen, meaning gymnastics. In 1911, the Louisville Club purchased property along the Ohio River, now known as Turner Park. It was here where we again caught up with Terri.
Okay, so my company's name is xalt, and there's 3 phases to this company. The first one is booking and performing, and mostly aerial talent, but I can book other specialty performances like fire, hoop, boy, you name it, I could get performers for it. My second phase is I'm working on a book, and it's on emotional wellness. It's a workbook. So I'm a school psychologist. That is my career that pays bills. And so this is a lot of stuff that's helped me in my journey, and that helps a lot of the teens I work with that struggle with anxiety, depression, mood disorders, which is more like bipolar. I get a lot of cutters or eating issues. And it's a way to kind of heal yourself and set your life up for success. And then the third phase of this is to pair the aerials with motivational speaking to get this message out for people that can just heal themselves. It's just good lifestyle. There's 10 steps, and it's like follow it. And it's very strength-based rather than, I'm not a big woundology. I'm very big law of attraction, like, what do you do well, and what do we need to do different? This is what you're doing well. I want you to maintain this, and I'm very positive about it, and that's what it should be. It should be focusing on everything that they've got coping skills in themselves. They just need mentored along to get them. So that's xalt.
So tell me, what is the title of your book?
The book is called Be Your Best Self, and it's a holistic approach to emotional wellness.
Okay. So what was the impetus for writing this book?
Because I counsel so many teens, I wasn't liking anything out there. I mean, I bought plenty of stuff, and I would use 1 or 2 things, and I just never liked anything. And I was like, there's a lot that come out of my brain that I just make up, or I find along the way. I read a lot of self-help. I've had my own struggles with mood disorders. I'm diagnosed that way, and I've kind of healed myself in a natural way. I don't use medication. So it was like, okay, what's been working for me? And what am I noticing that's helping other kids? So I really focused on it. So I would come home from work, and I would just work this chapter, and I made all these ideas just came to me, and it flowed. And I drew an editor towards me that is doing it for free because she believes in this book so much, and I love her dearly. And then my mom is my proofreader, and then there's a teacher that came my way that's doing my graphic design, and then I have an artist in Connecticut who is more doodle. It's like a doodleologist. I mean, she's amazing. So everything just kind of fell in place. So.
What is the target audience for your book?
I started out being more with teens and like young adults, but my editor's in her 50s, and my graphic designer's in her 40s or 50s, and everybody's like older, and they're like, no, Terri, you need to market this to everybody. This could help me. I love this. I'm learning. I'm getting something out of it. I wish I had this when I was going through a divorce, or,
So talk to me a little bit about being an aerialist. When did you start?
I started 5.5 years ago. I took a circus class at Alley Theater, and it was a 3-hour class, and I ended up doing 2 of those. And I fell in love with the aerial row, and I did that for 2 years. I started performing pretty soon after that. Like one of my first instructor saw a lot of potential in me, and so he said, I've got this show coming up, and he sent me a routine, told me what kind of outfit to wear. He gave me my music. I had about 2 months to practice it, if that. And, which is very rare for an aerialist, and I think back now, I'm like, oh my god, I made so many mistakes. Like, nowhere the caliber that I am now, but yeah, I never looked back, and then I co-owned an aerial burlesque company with my best friend, and we did that for a while, and then I ended up doing other burlesque things. I was a wrestling ballet, and I would perform and do that, and my life just took off in 2010. Wow. It totally changed, and yeah.
So what do you credit for the taking off of your life? What do you think happened that made that happen?
God, goddess, the universe. I don't know. Like I had been divorced for a couple of years. I had been coaching field hockey. I don't know. I was always such a striver. I was very driven. I always set a goal. I'd always meet the goal. I was very much like that. But I started to notice that the best things in my life were falling in my lap, and I just had to allow them. And I'm not a good allower. I'm used to strive, which has hurt my body to strive so much. So I'm really learning that art of allowing. And don't push things. Don't let your ego get in the way. Just allow these things to happen the way they are.
So when it comes to teaching aerial folks, where do you start them out? What do they have to bring to the table for you to be able to work with?
Yeah, my weakness as an instructor is we call it the couch potato aerialist, the ones who just come from but I'm even good at that. I get them. So I think it is an overall body workout. First of all, they have to have the belief that they can do it. But I still love working with them. I just learn different techniques all the time. But I do a lot of groundwork. It's a lot of core. So I really show them, I educate them about core and how to work that out and what to do, because you can't do it one day a week. Aerials is, I know this sounds like cliche, but aerials is a lifestyle. You have to watch what you eat. You have to stretch every day. You have to work out core several times a week. You have to constantly up your game and train. And it is a lifestyle that takes your world over. You can't just do it one day a week. So, yeah.
Talk to me about it as an art form.
It's beautiful.
I think so too. It's very graceful, and they make it look so effortless.
Yeah.
There's just that quality of wow, making it look like it's just not something.
Yeah, I always there's amazing aerialists that I've seen that make it look so easy, and I'm always flattered when someone says that about me, because I'm like, I don't think I make it look as easy as other people. But I'm in my body, and I am watching. I know my errors, and I know my mistakes, and I know it's not graceful, and I know it's not fluent, and I know what I need to get better at. And especially when I look at video, I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, it is an art form. It is amazing, and there's a difference between doing trick, and giving your audience goosebumps and making them feel something, and making them sad, or making them angry, or making them happy, or making them laugh, or it's what emotion do you want to evoke from your audience. So that's, I guess, the art form of it, because you want your audience to connect with you.
Now, do you have an age range that you'd like to work with, or is it open to all ages? I
probably don't do as well with itty bitty kids, but I still teach all ages. I prefer 8 and above. I'm pretty hyper, so younger than that, they're like, woo. But I get them all ages. But I love the women my age that come to me, because I know what it's like, and I know what they struggle with, and I know what their body's doing, and I know what I can tell them how to heal their body and help it, what they need, what habits they need to get to do daily. At Gretchen, and who's amazing, and she's about 48, and I thought she was younger than me. I thought she was under 40. And she's there all the time.
So to be 48 years old and to have triplets and to start this.
I know.
That's pretty ballsy, for lack of a better word.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She is. I watched how far she's come, because I saw when she first came in.
Yeah.
And then, we're fast forward to a year and a half later, and she's kicking butt. But she's there all the time, and she sets goals for herself. She's I would like to have this routine for this day. I want to learn this. I'm coming, Terri, can you help me? She sets goals. She's really driven.
So it sounds like in order to be successful at this as a sport/art form, you need to bring a certain amount of ambition and drive.
Me too. They're all
What
ambitious.
other kind of personality qualities make for a good aerialist?
That's a good question. You know, I never thought of that. Because I always say the aerialists that I know that are really good and talented, they have a certain intensity to them. They're very driven. They work very strong personalities. They really, not strong personalities like, grouchy, nothing like that, but just very, they're all very educated. They know what they want. They really, really work hard. They're very focused. Those are the ones I notice the most.
Okay.
And I've trained all over, and I've met different personalities, but I feel like that's one thing aerialists need to share.
Are there any misconceptions about the sport or art? I'm torn. I don't know which to call it.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, it's like where creativity meets athleticism. That's how I have always thought of it.
Is there any misconceptions you can dispel or would like to dispel if you were given the floor to do so?
Yeah, I think I've heard a lot of women have said I'm too old. I've heard a lot of women say, but I didn't do anything like this before, I'm like, or I get this all the time, I don't have any upper body. And I said, you do aerials to get upper body. They say, I don't have any core. I said, you do aerials to get all that will come. Give it 2 months, and you will be amazed at how far you come with aerials.
I'm ready to sign.
Yeah, I know.
Tell me a little bit about how you find your clients or how they can find you.
Facebook is really good. I'm pretty good at Facebook, and I get Messenger. So it's I'm Terri Kendall, Terri, and Kendall is Kendall on Facebook. I'm always have an aerial picture there, so you can find me there. I teach at 2 different spots. I teach at Turner's here, where we're at. I teach at another place to spend that's in New Low. It's a brand new. It's a great facility. Great friends of mine have opened that one up. And I always say, check out the website, see which one works better for you, based on what you want and what your goals are. So either one. I also have I have several people that come from different cities to train with me. I give them privates or semi-private lessons. That's another option. I do that, and so they can contact me directly, because some prefer to work one-on-one or prefer to work with just a couple people in the group. So.
Okay. What are the limitations, back from being good at least some form or fashion of this?
I don't know. I think fear. You can't fear. And you came a little bit late tonight, but Darren was there, who's blind, and he's so inspirational. Yeah, I'm gonna work out with him on Thursday because he wants help on his core, and I'm like, dude, I will give you Core 101. I will show you what you need to work on your core. I will tell you everything you need to know about core. So I'm going to pick him up on Thursday and we're going to do it. But to me, he's inspirational because that's not easy to learn something all verbal stuff. You can't say, here, I'm going to show you. You have to touch and move and manipulate and say, touch my body. This is what I want it to feel like. This is what so it's, yeah. So I don't know. I think fear. Don't let your fears hold you back.
You're not limited by age.
You have to be patient. You can't be. Aerials is patience.
Okay, so it's not a quick fix.
No, it's baby steps. It's like, okay, I've got this trick, and I used to go, okay, I could get this right away. Or some things, nope, I think it might take me 2 months. Some things, it might take me a year.
Yeah.
I'm working on things that I've worked on a long time, but one day they click. And I'm like, okay, because it's consistency, or sometimes you forget to, I don't want to work on it now. And then you revisit it.
So where do you draw your inspiration?
Question. Inspiration for what?
For life, for what you do. I mean, you have a job, no matter how you slice it, that's very giving, and it very much takes a piece of you.
It does.
So you have to refill that somehow.
Yeah. Psychology, you give a lot. Teaching you give a lot of you.
And connection. I mean, when you connect with other people and you connect with their weaknesses as well as their strengths, so you have to refill that somehow.
That's a great question, Joe, because I my 40s, I'm 47, so my mid-40s, I really worked hard on boundaries because I've always had that tendency to give so much or do so much. And I know. It's like a common problem, but I've really worked to figure out where my boundary is and listen to my gut when I'm giving too much and when I need, and I get it, man, I can know when because I'm really kind of upbeat and positive, but I get those days where I'm really grouchy, and I'm like, I can tell I need to diffuse. I need to pull into my cocoon. I need to go on my bike ride or go walk across the bridge or like really, so when I wake up I do spiritual reading. I'm not religious by any means, but I really like a lot of the Eastern thought, like the Tao, you know, I like anything like Tao Te Ching, anything like that has that kind of edge to it. I try to meditate most days, because from one job to the next I try to take that 15-20 minutes and just like breathe.
Yeah, I try that too. I cannot shut down. I can't shut down enough to I would love to be able to meditate.
I learned some tricks, but here's the thing. This is what I've learned, because I'm terrible at it. I have this monkey mind, and I'm hyper and anxious, and I'm always going, and that's normal. If I can give 10 or 15 minutes to just like close my eyes and breathe, I notice such a big difference in me. I notice a bigger difference in my emotional reactions. I learned I'm calmer. I don't do it maybe like I'm supposed to. I don't do orthodox kind of thing. I might lay out on my bed instead of sit like this. I put my headphone on with music so it blocks everything out. I read. And I don't beat myself up if I fall asleep. I know you're not supposed to fall asleep. If you always said, Terri, you're not supposed to fall asleep. I'm like, you know what? That's okay.
I was resting. I was calming my mind. My mind was calm.
Inside.
I was so good at it, I actually knocked myself out.
Yeah. But it is hard. Like 5 minutes, sometimes I'm too, like, sometimes if my mind's on something, I'm like, something's on my mind, but I know when I practice, I get better at it.
This is the part of an interview where I always turn the floor over.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I feel like I do know what I want to talk about. So one thing I guess I've struggled with, and I'm in a really good place. I feel like 2015 has been pretty magical since January 1st. Even when hard situations have come up, what I've done differently is I've learned to ride the storm better and feel my feelings. When before I would more like, it's uncomfortable, I don't want to feel it, I'm going to do what I need to do not to feel it.
Doing well.
And now I just kind of like ride with the storm and allow the feelings to be felt, and I seem to get through faster. But one thing I've struggled with, and since I've been a psychologist for a while, I've realized many people struggle with it, is that concept of not fitting into the mainstream. And I've never felt like I've fit in. You know, I've been like a single parent, so most of my friends are married, or they don't have kids, and it's like I've never kind of fit into this niche. You know what I mean? And that you pay a price for that. And I've finally gotten a place where I'm okay with that. When before I was like, but I just can't fit in, and I don't know how to fit in, and I'm just kind of different, and I'm like socially awkward sometimes, and normal sometimes, and I don't know, I'm fully alternative this time, and I'm fully mainstream this time, and I don't really know who I am, and now I just don't beat myself. So I think everyone should write their own script and not beat themselves up on how they are, and just love themselves. And that's been hard for me, is to love myself, being kind of different. So I guess that's what I want to talk about.
Okay.
This episode is for every kid who has ever watched a circus performer, heart beating wildly in his chest, feeling the danger, sensing the skill, and being both rattled and touched to the core. It's for every little girl who looks at that costume and listens to that music and wants to be the girl on the flying trapeze, to feel lighter than air and pasted against nothing but the sky. It is for every adventurer who has ever wondered what it's like to be suspended 50 feet in the air, with nothing but skill and training and their own fortitude to aid them. This episode has been for the dreamer in all of us. Terri Kendall and those like her do what others only dream. We thank them for the inspiration, the passion, the drive, and that voice inside them that looks at the sky with a determination to conquer it.